it would be something like a strip joint here. She drew like a heart, shoved them into the unsuspecting victim's rectum, dude.
Some dudes, you can kind of tell something's really off. Oh my God,
And the clerk giving me like a weird look.
step outside of the club, we'll jump you, we'll stab you.
What's funny about today's topic is that weirdos can mean a lot of different things. And I thought about it because are there weirdos in Japan? Definitely.
A lot.
There's also all sorts of weirdos over here too. But then I thought about it. I'm like, okay, what makes something weird? And so I tried to think about things that in Japan a Westerner would think are weird about either behaviors or customs or whatever, right?
Right.
And this is something that when I was working with my editor, he asked me, you need to write all these things down now because you're going to get used to Japan and then they won't be weird to you anymore. Right. And so this was kind of a little bit of an exercise in that type of thing because I thought, okay, well, what would I say is something weird that somebody who hasn't been to Japan might agree with me? So there's things that are, when I looked at them, I'm like, okay, they're weird, but I also know why. So it stops being weird for me personally. But like, for instance, paying for conversation, strictly just conversation,
right?
Is I first time I ever heard of that concept was in Japan, and it was kyabakura or hosto club, like host or hostess clubs, right? And if you were paying, I just assumed it would be something like a strip joint here, like there's something either seeing nudity or there's some champagne room activities happening. The champagne room is like, the VIP, like stuff that's not normally, part of a strip club might happen over there. But the paying for conversations was a Japanese concept for me. And I was like, wow. And people were paying a lot of money.
Right.
And it was just conversation. They were just talking.
It's a whole business.
And then they would leave. Yeah. It's a whole industry. So like, that was one. Nowadays, there's like paying for companionship. And again, this isn't prostitution. This is just companionship. Eating.
Rental girlfriend.
There's rental boyfriends, rental girlfriends.
Rental family.
That's weird. Rental family, yeah. Like you can pay for someone to act as your father, your daddy, your mother, your or like your son or daughter, And again, like loneliness in Japan, I mean Tokyo for sure is a thing, And some people, they have money, but again, socially in Japan, even going out to bars and stuff, you kind of go with groups. You don't just go by yourself. If you go by yourself, it's kind of strange. So there's that. Then another thing that's weird in Japan is childish things for adults. So the first thing I thought of was maid cafes. I've never seen a child in a maid cafe. That's like for grown men.
Yeah. Grown men exclusively.
There's no kids. But if you walk into a maid cafe, there's suns and clouds and like rainbows and like it's all done. It looks like child, almost like like a preschool type of environment. To my Western views, it seemed like that. A Japanese person but actually most Japanese people have never been to a maid cafe, I would say. Also, it's like a kawata thing to do.
Or if you go, they
right.
Or you go with otaku, like full. I'm an otaku, and he accepted his fate, but
fully fledged.
Yeah. What up, Juna?
Right. But I just always thought, like when you go to a maid cafe, I went there once. I went with my editor and another manga artist who was a girl, and she had never been to one. And so my editor was like, okay, let's go. This is part of your next chapter anyway. So like, it's on the house. Like we'll take you guys. So we were like, all right, cool. We went in there. They greet you. They're like, welcome back, master. Goshujin-sama. And all that stuff. And then, you go in. And then again, like I said, there was like clouds and like, it was like some Care Bear, like strawberry shortcake looking place. But all I saw was grown ass dudes in there. And I was just like, okay, that's strange. My editor felt super weird in there. He was just kind of like,
really?
He's not, here's the thing. A lot of people might not know about manga editors. A lot of manga editors are not otaku at all. They're editors. And in publishers, you don't just do manga. Sometimes they move you from manga to fashion magazines like Kodansha or something else. So you rotate, dude. You're not like, oh, I love, and then I'm doing manga. Like sometimes you were an editor at a fashion magazine and you were there at that department for a while, and then they rotate you. So you get acquainted with the company, and then you end up doing manga and talking to manga artists. And it's like a whole thing. My editor used to work for a fashion magazine. And although he grew up like most Japanese people reading some kind of manga, and he still enjoyed manga, he's by no means an otaku. He didn't know anything about maid cafes or anything like that. So we went there, he was just kind of like,
all awkward.
He was looking at me. Yeah. And the other thing is, they have these little songs that they sing to the customer when they bring out the stuff, right? It's all very childish stuff, which is, it's all like that. Cute, and all that hard stuff. And to me, I wanted to go, I was going to do, I did a scene in Pipochu where the protagonist goes with some friends to a maid cafe in Tokyo, in Akihabara. So I didn't want to make things up. If I could have an opportunity to go, and my editor was like, let's just do it. So we went there, and all the foods, you know, it's like, again, it's kid stuff. Rice.
Omurice.
It's like rice covered by an egg with ketchup on it. Yeah.
That's Japanglish right there. Omelette rice.
Yeah. And then you get all sorts of little cakes and that kind of stuff and whatever. So again, like it was just a striking difference between like what the menu looked like and what the environment looked like. And then all these dudes, you know? So, and then I ordered an rice, an omelet rice. And then the maid came out, you know, she sang a song, you know, put it in front of me, and I was kind of like, oh, arigato. And then she said, okay, like you have to do this with me. And I was like, all right. So, and the whole table had to do it. So my editor was like looking around. The other artist girl thought it was hilarious. She was doing all of it. She was getting into it.
I would be like,
yeah.
Wow,
so she was like, you know, like doing like, you know, neko this and something that and, you know, whatever. And then like she drew like a heart with ketchup
right?
on my rice, right? So I'm like, yo, man, like this is, again, not the most adult thing. But number one, in Japan, there's not a lot of judgment with this type of stuff. Like people, whatever you're into.
If you do it, you do it. Yeah.
You just do it and that's it. Here's another thing that's weird. Weird Japan. This childhood prank, which is the Kancho, dude.
Kancho.
So you put both index fingers and shove them into the unsuspecting victim's rectum, dude.
Yep. Right in the middle.
That's like funny. That's a joke in Japan. That's a Japanese joke.
Oh, that's Korean too. Hated that. Man. You know what's always weird? Because
what's that?
Japanese friendship, right? It takes time to be an actual friend with a Japanese person, right? Japanese person, right? But even as a close friend, in Japanese, they say, nakayoshi ni mo reigi ari. You might be close with somebody, but still, you have to be polite to each other, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, that was it all these years with all my friends. That's why, like, sometimes, you know, they still kept their distance with me and stuff. But then, next thing you do, you turn around, they do kancho to you. I'm like, nani ga reigi nanda yo?
It's just a prank. It's just a prank.
Man, I hated that stuff. Man, back in high school in Korea, it was all dudes high school. So, that kancho, imagine how strong the kancho used to be.
Dude, that's
in an all dudes high school. My friend did a kancho so strong, he broke his index finger once. The next day, he had that thing in his finger. He had to be like this for like months.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. He dislocated his index finger.
Yo, he went for it, dude. He got in there.
Like, like more than 90 degrees. It's just...
That's real hateful, dude. Like, he put some force behind it. He took a running start for that kancho.
Just like, sure you can then. Man. That kancho thing was always weird, for sure.
Yeah. Here's another thing I found weird. Bathing together with friends and coworkers and people you know and have interaction with on a daily basis or whatever, and then just getting naked and being there. That's something where, like, you know, I got used to it in Japan, but at first I was like, bro, like, what?
Same.
You're all your coworkers, you're gonna hang out naked together? Like, what is that? Like I didn't understand, but they called it skinship.
Skinship.
Or skinship.
That too, and touching people, a male, female, like interaction, like holding hands, whatever, kissing. That's all skinship too. That's all skinship. Like hugging, whatever. That's all skinship too. But yeah, man, like I remember when I went to Korea for the first time to live, and my dad was like, "Let's go to a sento." Like, what is a sento? It's like it's a public bath. Like, do I have to take my bathing suit with me?
Yeah,
because I grew up here and I didn't know anybody. Like, no, you just go in naked. I'm like, there's gonna be other people.
What? Right.
All these other osangs, whatever. Like, they're just gonna be like naked.
Right.
Just, I'm like, I don't want to see any of that stuff. Like, I don't want to show mine. Remember when you came to Korea? Mm-hmm. Yeah. We were there like for hours inside, right? But at first, I was like, no, hell no.
I think what is it, like Norway or
like
Iceland,
like saunas,
or Finland. I think there's some Russia. There's certain cultures that have like the bathhouse culture as part of the thing. But most Westerners are not used to like, you're with your coworker, you just finished an assignment, you're done, you had a drink, and then they're like, all right, let's go get naked together, bro. That's like, what? So I felt like that, but
imagine the whole class, 50 dudes, 50, 60 dudes in one bath house. Yeah. That was my high school. Man. Yeah. One of my good friends, man. His family business is Sento. So we would all go, like 20, 30 dudes go, and then it becomes like the Street Fighter Honda stage. Everybody all naked. Yeah, man.
So wait, when you went to your first Sento, were you like 12 or 13?
12 or 13. I was already, kind of like not a baby, so I kind of knew. Like I'm like I don't want to go. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, man, I really didn't. I thought it was like weird as hell.
Right. Well, the other thing in Japan is that like children will bathe with their mom or their dad up to a certain age.
Yeah.
And it's like not. And again, to me, that was, I didn't do that. I wasn't used to that. But like, I don't know what the cutoff age is, but these kids can talk.
So sometimes like 12 or 13. Yeah.
That's crazy to me, dude.
Because some Asians, they look extra young, right? I never went into a female tub bath.
Well, here's
section,
the thing.
But no.
That's what I'm saying is crazy. Like if you're just with guys and whatever, then But little boys would go to the Sento with their mom in the women's one. Where I'm like, if you're at a certain age, you're a kid, you just don't even care about anything. But like if you're going at 12. I'm pretty sure you can't get in with your mom at 12. That would be kind of crazy.
24.
He's a late bloomer. He's just a late bloomer. He hasn't matured.
Death roll right away.
Oh, dude.
But yeah.
So yeah, bathing with friends and coworkers. I would put that on a list of like things a Westerner would find weird. The other one that's weird, and it's totally not weird nowadays. But I thought it was weird when I was watching Japanese TV, and it was the reaction windows on the screens, where they always have some celebrity or some commentator or somebody, or sometimes multiple screens, where they're showing you something that's happening, and they're also showing you the host's reactions.
Yeah.
Sometimes the host reactions are nothing. They're just, it depends on their character.
Yeah, character.
Like we've mentioned this many times. We'll never stop mentioning it, but in Japan, especially in the media, you are a bona fide character. You're either the cool person or the beautiful person or the shy person
or the ugly funny one.
The ugly funny one.
Or the handsome funny one. Or you're the Gaijin. That's it. The Gaijin is Gaijin.
The Gaijin's a collection of things. The Gaijin can be, if you're a Gaijin they find attractive, you can go in the kakkoi section. But I've seen less of those and more of just like the buffoon, dude. Yeah. Like you're Gaijin, you're the buffoon.
Who was that dude? The big dude, Bob Sapp. Or, you know how I really liked? Bobby Oregon. I thought that dude was always funny. But then you have these like the fake blonde dudes. What was his name?
Dave Spector.
What? That was his name? David Spector?
Dave Spector. Dave Spector.
Dave-san. Yeah, I always thought he was weird, man.
It's because he probably is, dude.
Yeah, that dude, like he always had this bleached blonde
Well, he
hair.
had to see extra Gaijin because I mean he's, you know,
Is he half?
I think naturally he's got dark hair. No, I don't think he's half. I think he's just American. But he went there in like the 80s or something, dude.
He's one of the like early Gaijins who just lived forever.
I've heard there's been like exposés about like.
Oh, I'm pretty sure, man. I'm pretty sure that nowadays, man.
Yeah.
Nowadays, everybody's like, oh, he did something. Plus, it's entertainment business in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, it's like the Wild West.
Yeah, Wild West. And all the, like, probably Diddy shit compared to that is nothing.
Oh, and Japan, I mean.
Japan, yeah. Or Asia, man.
Actually,
yeah.
A friend was texting me today about Johnny's.
Johnny-san.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like,
And
all those like, handsome, pretty boys, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's
like,
tough.
They were like
Kept that a
Johnny
secret
songs.
until that guy passed away.
Yeah.
They
At
didn't
least
really-
they
I
kept
mean-
the secret. The interesting thing was, we would think, okay, Johnny Song was like ripping these boys. I mean, he was ripping those boys, but no, it was the other way around. He was giving fellatio to these kids,
Right.
like middle school kids or elementary
Yeah, they started
school
at
kids.
like 12 and 13.
Yeah,
like
even
this-
earlier, right? Depends on like what age they got picked.
It's horrible, dude. Oh, dude, I'm pretty sure these guys got some real
Stories,
issues
man.
because of that.
Yeah,
Dude, like,
yeah. Funny thing is, Johnny's is Japan's entertainment business, right? At least
It's
the
like the
80s
biggest-
and 90s, right?
it was the biggest one.
Japan's whole entertainment industry equal Kimura Takuya.
Right.
Kimura Takuya is where? Johnny's, right?
Yeah.
That's how he became like the most popular dude. I mean, he's like the most popular dude in Japan, I'll say, in the entertainment business, right? Who else?
Yeah, I mean, definitely was. When I started learning Japanese, he definitely was.
Yeah.
Because he was on all the magazines, he was on TV.
And he's
all the
our
girls.
generation too. So I can tell like how like the dudes talk in Japan. Our generation kids, like Naru, sounds just like Kimura Takuya.
Well, because they were younger than him and they were watching him.
They
He was
watching him.
like
It's like, oh, they got kakkoi, yeah.
oh, right.
The template to be cool was Kimura Takuya. See, that's the thing about Japan. Everybody's so awkward outside of the templates.
Right.
The social situation like kaisha or baito or whatever, they know what to do because they had a manual. A little bit outside of that, which is us pretty much. And everything just becomes awkward.
Well, it's like everything has a manual in Japan. Like that.
yeah.
One of the
Pretty
things
much,
about those screens I was telling you about on TV, where you have the reaction screens. Now people watch reaction videos, which still, like, I understand what it is because you know the person reacting and you want to hear their opinion. The same concept as the TV in Japan, but the more important reason to have those things is it teaches the audience how to react to whatever they're watching. It's what it is. It's a template. It's like, okay. And then, like you said, there's somebody that you identify with, then you're going to look at their reaction and be like, that's like me. It's that type of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
But again, like all these rules in Japan, man, that's just, we talked about this, I don't know, many times, but it's nothing more Japanese people hate than not following the rules, right?
Right.
Because they themselves don't even like the rules, but they still have to follow.
But you have to. That's the whole thing. That's
The thing is,
the
like,
whole-
Gaijins, they don't, and they're like, nothing
Of course.
infuriates Japanese people more than ruru wo mamoranai yatsu.
Yeah, of course.
Like, the trains,
Right.
how quiet that it is.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, like, that's the first thing I noticed when I went to Japan for the first time. You get on the train, everybody's reading a book.
Right.
Or, like, keitai. Even keitai, like, when I first went to Japan, it wasn't, like, super nice keitais. It was, like, one of those, like, Nokia-looking ones. So nobody was on their phone that much. Everybody was on the...
They had some really tiny ones, too, around that time. Like some super small ones.
super small ones. I mean, before iPhone, Japanese cell phone was the best. They had all the like slide ones, like flip,
They had
all the like
TV.
transformer phones, everything.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, it was always kind of weird for me to get on the train, and it was super quiet, and everybody just, I guess now everybody's on the smartphones, and even cell phones. You're not even supposed to use your cell phones on the train.
No.
Like that's the rule. They really kind of like, it's a kind of gray area because it says like you're supposed to turn off your phone on the sticker. Then it changed it to like mana mode later on.
Right.
Or just like, you know, buzz with that little hato and buzz, whatever.
Right.
There's some dudes, man, like the dudes who takes these rules too seriously, man. Man, this one time, I remember this one time, like getting on, when I was living in Musashi Koyama, I was supposed to meet Sueto at Shinjuku Station. Musashi Koyama, then you have to go to Meguro Station. From Meguro Station, you have to go to Shinjuku, right? So I got on Meguro-sen, and as soon as I got on, I see this dude. Some dudes, you can kind of tell by the facial expression or the posture, right? Something's really off. He's like, it's not a regular dude energy. And right next to this dude, there was this older lady, probably a little older than us, wearing a kimono. And I thought it was, at first, I thought it was like a mom and a son. Because it wasn't a packed train. It was pretty empty.
And right next to each other.
Yeah, sitting right next to each other. And I'm like,
normally,
yeah,
do
people,
that
they don't, right?
They don't sit
probably,
to a stranger.
Before, I don't know, stations before, people got out. And, they don't even move when there's an empty space right next to him, right? Because it will make this person awkward.
Right.
So probably she was just stuck there. Then train leaves. And I was like, just mendokusei na. Just dudung. Then this lady, she answered her phone. Probably her daughter called her or something like that. And she's like, "今電車の中だから後でかけ直すね." And she hung up. Right after she hung up, this dude right next to her, 電車の中で携帯を使っちゃいけません! Screamed. And I'm like, oh shit. The fuck, son? Damn. What a mendokusai ass motherfucker. And I was
That's
like,
a Honmono there. That's a real one.
Honmono. Apparently, that wasn't her son. Screamed.
Right.
Then, of course, at that moment, Sueto, he has to call me, right? Inside of my pocket, my phone's zzz, zzz, zzz. I see it, it's Sueto. Not answering because I just saw what happened. And this dude is gonna come up to me and just like,電車の中で. So I didn't want any of the smoke, so I'm like, okay, just mushi. Didn't care. Still, Sueto, shitsukoi ass motherfucker. Zzz, zzz. But then,
he wouldn't stop.
Yeah, he wouldn't stop. But then, it kind of made me fun. I'm like, maybe something happened. Because we were going to the club in Kabukicho. Maybe his rehearsal got canceled, or something happened. So it was a slide phone that I was talking about. I slid open my phone inside of my pocket. Not even a second, and I hung up. And I looked at him like, probably, barete nai sho. Probably he didn't see me. Nah.
Dude was steaming, dude.
Yeah. And I was like, oh. But I had to retaliate. So I in English, I was like, I know, shut the up. And that caught him off guard. Because he thought I was Japanese. And he was like,
We had to recalibrate the whole situation.
But But then it was Meguro Station already. All of this happened in 2 stations. Musashi Koyama, Fudomae, and Meguro. And we got off Meguro. Then you have to go up to the JR platforms, right?
Right.
I went up, and I just went up to the JR platforms and waiting for my JR train, Yamanote-sen. Depends on where you grew up. You always look around. You just don't that's the thing about Japanese people too. They just...
No, they don't, because again, it's Heiwa Boke.
Us. Always.
Yeah, just always, yeah.
And I was just looking around, and it kind of felt weird. I was like, what is this? Like, does it feel like my spider sense was tingling? I look back right behind me. You know those H-beams that has like the Eki no namae, Meguro Station slapped on top of it? What do I see? The same dude right behind that pole. Yeah, man. And this was the time there was no screen doors.
Right. Yeah, because now...
Remember how many times...
But
remember how many Jinshin Jiko people pushing each other to the track? Like what happened in New York. And as soon as I saw that dude, I just turned around 180, facing that dude.
Right.
Behind me, no screen door, no nothing. And inside of my head, I'm like, please, Yamanote-san, 早く来て, just praying inside.
Man, that was
who knows what's gonna happen, right? Yeah. And finally, the train arrived. I just moonwalked in to the train. I didn't even go all the way in. I stood right in front of the door in case this motherfucker decides to rush me. I could just Sparta kick his ass and just right. But luckily he did it and just went to Shinjuku.
Yeah, you got to watch out. There are weirdos definitely walking around Tokyo for sure.
Really, who knows?
Yeah,
man. Like, let's say, like, I was just like, not looking, just not being aware of what's going on around me. Maybe he was just.
Yeah, no, you always got to be. I mean, you always got to be aware of your surroundings. That's just something. In any city, I would say, Tokyo. It's easy for people to let their guard down because it's super safe. It's like, it's super chill. People are nice. Like, you know. But I guess when you're out drinking in Tokyo, you might.
I still do. Sometimes, yeah. Well, if I'm with you or my boys, we know it's okay. But still, like, if I'm, let's say, like, I go out on a date with a girl, whatever, I always look around to see.
Right, of course. That's just a general rule for anybody living in a city. It doesn't matter where you are. You always have to look around because...
Especially if you live in a city here. One of those cities here, man.
New York. Here's the thing. You always see these stories, but it's like having so many people around gives sometimes a false sense of security.
Right.
Most of those people are going to bounce.
Right. Yeah.
When something
Especially
happens,
in Japan, they will 100% bounce.
Yeah. And I mean, we get these stories in the subway in New York where like people get things get done to them in the car and people are in the car just filming. You see these videos. You're like, this person filming couldn't do something instead of filming? No, they're just going to film. They're going to put it up and that's it. I'm not saying everybody has to be a hero, but at least most of the time people are not trying to be a hero. You know, they're just
minimum help could have saved lives, right? But yeah, man, it's pretty. I mean, it's pretty real here, but it used to be real in Japan too with those things.
Right.
Man, I remember like getting off at Shinjuku Station and going to Arata because two dudes like Arata no mae de. We met in front of that studio Arata.
Bunch of girls standing there waiting for someone.
And it was this fucking dude, like 6'2", bald dude from Arata. Went to Arata. I'm like, なんでさっきからずっと電話してたんだよ. You keep calling me, right? And you know what he said? Like, yo, ダック行く前になんか食いたいかなと思って何食う? I'm like, that was it. What the fuck? I almost died because of you. Like, yo,
it was an emergency, dude.
That Hezima Ryu dude we were talking about. The city council member of Nara now. That's who used to do that too. Like if somebody was on the phone, and this is Japan too. Nobody's on their phone like omae-san. No, everybody's super. いや今電車の中だから分かった分かった。いや電車の中だってばいいから後でかけ直す。That level, right?
Yeah.
Just Hezima Ryu dude too, sitting next to people like that and just 電車の中で携帯使っちゃダメですよ。
Yeah. I saw that. I saw one today. I saw a video of him today doing exactly that. And then I looked at the comments. It was weird because he does it like selfie style. So he sat next to her, and then he's like, 電車の中で電話使っちゃいけません。携帯使っちゃいけません。And the lady like looks at him, and then like she just like starts smiling, and then he starts laughing. I looked at the comments because I was trying to figure out what is this. All the comments in Japanese were saying, "Oh, she's Chinese, she's Chinese, she's Chinese." I don't know if she was Chinese because it seemed like
just blaming on the Gaijin, man.
It seemed like she recognized him, like she knew who he was. Like he did that. She looked at him and then she started smiling. So I'm like, I don't know.
At least he wasn't being like hostile, right?
No.
Nah, but this dude I was talking about, he was like straight up screaming. Like
just
this lady was like, right? And this dude was straight up, man, shut the fuck up. Like,
yeah, he's just trolling, dude.
Man, that dude, his face just not even looking at her, just looking into the air and screaming.
Well, these people, if you're observant, you can kind of tell people that kind of seem like their lid's gonna blow at some point. Like they kind of give like, signs, like they start twitching, like you'll see them on the train. I saw people getting crazy and like kicking the door while the train's riding. They just coom, and it's like that's not just one. I've seen multiple people do that.
Yeah.
It's almost like that's part of the manual. If you're gonna while out, if you're gonna crash out,
even that is rude.
Right.
Or the dudes just like bashing their head just against the glass. Man, I'm pretty sure it's way less now. They say like when we were in Japan, like the work stress level was like the peak at the time.
Yeah, I heard things are a little bit more chill now.
Who knows, man? Depends on where you work at, especially in Japan, man. Talking about weirdos or like weird behaviors of Japanese people, I would say being a customer, being an asshole customer, and having some kind of power trip to these like workers and stuff, man. That's some weird stuff in Japan too. I mean, like, yo, they're just working. They're just like you, right?
No, because you're the customer. The customer is God, dude.
Kami-sama.
Yeah.
But there's a limit to that.
Not in Japan, there isn't. That's the thing.
Like some dudes, they really power trip over those things.
Well, they're allowed to. Here's the thing. Most people in Japan, put in any other scenario, they're pretty chill. But the situation you're describing, they get super hyphy. Like they go over the top, like like they go maximum force. And I think part of the reason why they feel they can do that is because customer service is so important culturally in Japan. And number two, there's no manager that's going to grab them and throw them out because they're doing too much. Like here, the customer is always right until they're not. And at a certain point, a manager, if a customer is doing this stuff, the manager just said, okay, sir, you need to leave right now, or we're going to call the cops or whatever. In Japan, a manager will call the cops, but what you have to be doing is way higher. If you're yelling at a clerk for like 30 minutes, it's almost like that's still not a reason to call the cops. Like you just,
I remember this one morning after the club, I think I was with Taiga and everybody. I think it was like, we had like 7 or 8 dudes. And that's Saizeria in front of Manhattan Records in Shibuya.
Okay.
It's like, you
Manhattan
remember... The one in front of Tokyo Hanzu.
Oh, okay.
There's a little intersection, right? There's Saizeria on the second floor. And we would go there after club. Think about early shifts. There are a lot of oba-san and oji-sans, older dudes, or like older women working there, baito, as a server, right?
Right. Yeah.
And we sat down. I usually sit the very left end because I'm left-handed, right? And this dude right next to me, this Japanese dude, again, this dude, he looked a little off too. Like this Osang. He had to be, in his 30s at the time, because I was in my 20s. Just non-stop screaming, "Oh my God, motte koe!" And these guys are like, what, in their 60s? These older people working in the morning time. Right. Morning shift, right? And this went on for like 5-6 minutes? Something like that. And I had to step in. I just looked at it. I'm like, Nissan. But it's kind of funny. He was like all screaming, and when I called him, he was like, "Hey!"
right. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like it's that one time where they're like, "I get to do this."
Yeah,
feels like that always.
Then I'm like, "Yo, like, Nissan, usendayo, damareo." And after that, he just zipped it.
Right.
I know. Of course, we had a lot of dudes on my table, so he's just like, probably went home and got the ningyo,
the voodoo doll.
These hip hop dudes, and enrolled in that uyoku party. So now he's like ultra right wing. Fuck hip hop dudes and gaijins.
Japan first.
Yeah, but like, many times I had to stop people and even tell my Japanese friends to be. I mean, I'm guilty of too, because sometimes like I'm like super stressed out. I will be mean to the servers, but I always try to be nice as possible, or just treat them like my friends, at least. And a lot of Japanese people, they don't have it.
Well, yeah, they just see the person as a server, and that's it. They
go in and just looking at them, it's always like the perspective is like this already. I'm like, yo, don't do that. Don't say that to people. Just be nice to people. Doesn't hurt.
Right.
A lot of Japanese people, they're like, yeah, Nihon wa kore da yo. No, it's not. Off the cloud, like she's the same as you. Why are you giving her a hard time?
That's not the point there. That's the thing about the rules in Japan. Those are Japanese rules. You know, like I can't tell them how things should be. That's how it is. Like the thing about the customer getting hyphy and crazy like that is because they're expecting service. Like service is expected to be impeccable. And the server, here's the thing about the tate shakai, and this is my own Western perspective of this. So a Japanese person might hear this and be like, shut the hell up. But the way I see it is, in a tate shakai, like vertical society, there's always going to be someone talking down to you because that's the way Japan works. So these people, they work a job wherever they work. Their boss talks down to them. Their senpai talk down to them. Anybody in charge of this stuff, that's them all day. They go to a restaurant, they get to feel like they're the one on top now. And some of these people, they're likely their life is going so shitty or their day is going so shitty that's their moment to get their stress out. Because it feels like
put their misery on somebody else so they can move on.
It's a cycle. I feel like that.
That's
feel
Korea
like
too. That's Korea. You're correct with that. That's Korea too. But still, like, I'm not saying I didn't tell them to change their lives or anything. At least when you're with me, let's not do that because I really feel uncomfortable. Just look at that dude. Look at what just happened. You think that's okay? Right. You want to be that dude? You think that's a fucking man being a strong man? Yeah, it's the exact opposite, man. And giving old people a hard time, man. Come on now.
Yeah, no, that's lame as hell. I agree, and I've seen that situation. I've been with friends who've gotten real crazy on a clerk or somebody. And it was the same thing. I don't believe in acting that way. And I don't think it's right, but I definitely feel like I understand where that comes from.
Oh, yeah, of course. I do too.
Yeah.
But to me, there's always a limit. You know, one of my exes, you know what she said to me? What I really like about Duck, DJ 5 Duck? You always say thanks.
I love you, DJ 5 Duck. Is that what she said?
Of course, man. But why? But the problem was, like, the thing is, why? You know what she said? You always say thank you when a server brings you food or whatever, refills your drink, whatever. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Yeah. Here's the thing. We were raised to say thank you and please and all that, and that's like standard for like being a respectable person, period, right? In Japan, I always said, I thanked konbini clerks. I still do. I thank everybody, man. You can't go wrong saying thank you and being nice. I would do that. Doesn't matter, even if you're around a bunch of shitty people, you being nice is gonna just make you nice. They can be shitty. But I remember going to konbini and buying stuff and saying thank you to the clerk, and the clerk giving me like a weird look.
Gaijin.
Like that, like looking at me weird. And I asked a friend of mine, she told me, oh, you don't have to say thank you. You're the customer. She told me that. I'm like, that's weird. She's like, no. She's like, you're weird for saying thank you. I was surprised that she told me that.
Yeah. I heard something similar too. Yeah. She's
like, you're the customer. You're paying. You don't have to thank them. And I was like, well, you know, where I'm from, that's like, I told her I just feel weird not thanking people for doing their job and helping me out. I mean, but it's a thing, you know.
These awkwardness in Japanese people fighting.
Oh man.
I'm talking about not kuchigenka. Kuchigenka is that too, but physical altercations.
Yeah,
it's so weird, man.
Yeah. I mean, well, here's one thing, right? Martial arts, many different waza, like different scale, like martial arts come from Japan. But not everybody's a martial artist in Japan, right?
Right.
But sometimes when you do see like all this awkward movement, you're like, wow, man, like, it's like it has you wondering if everyone is required to do physical education in school at least, because the lack of coordination sometimes in these we're talking about like fighting, right? Like physically. Yeah, it's like it's kind of astounding. Sometimes, like I remember seeing like, okay, so like when I worked at the karaoke in West LA, the only guy working at night, and I worked with two girls, sometimes three girls if it was a busy night, but I was the guy. I'm supposed to hold it down there. I remember talking to friends and them telling me, "Oh, what? And you guys are open till 5?" It's like, aren't you worried? I'm like, no, because most of the customers are super chill.
Right.
And if they're fighting, I remember like a fight broke out in the bar next door, and they were trying to get into the karaoke, and so I shut the door so they couldn't get in. And they were trying to push, and I'm like, no. And like, these weren't big guys, I'm holding them there, but then I'm watching, they start fighting, and dudes are like punching each other in the face, like multiple, like pop, 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 pop. Nothing, no bruising, no nothing. Like, it's like they're not hitting hard enough.
Just like massages.
It's like, yeah,
little
dude,
cat
it's like
punches. Yeah.
little shiatsu. But I do remember seeing a lot of like fighting going on, but like nobody's really getting hurt. It's a lot of like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a lot of like, awkward, like,
yo, that's Japan,
punches
man. That's Japan. And people, it's more like it's wrestling, but a really bad wrestling.
like, it's just not convincing, dude.
Yeah. I'm like, what is like holding their like clothes?
Well, there's a lot of grabbing. There's a lot of grabbing.
And it's not even a judo grab. It's just like all awkward. Right. People like they're holding back the wrong person.
That's the thing that gets me every time.
I'm like, yo,
if you're gonna fight, like, get in between both people. Don't hold back your friend while the other person pummels them and they can't move.
Catching those flares.
So
man, like, I was in that situation. I'm like, yo, don't hold me. Like, hold the aggressor. I try to fight these people. Oh, also, like, because I know how people fight in Japan. The thing is, real martial artists, I know them. They don't fight on the street. What's the point, right?
Right.
And when you practice martial art, you can kind of tell by looking at their hands or like their ears or whatever. Right. And some of these kids, these hip hop kids I met in the club, I was told many things. Like, yo, step outside of the club, we'll jump you, we'll stab you. I'm like, you guys?
Damn, dude.
Word. You guys gotta and some of them, they pull a knife on me too. And it was like these little knives. I'm like, yo, I'm like, I put that shit away. I'm gonna make you swallow that. These little kids, man. I'm like, nah, but it's not like.
What is this? What are these threats coming from, dude?
I guess they thought that was being hip hop.
Man.
Again, I'm not a tough dude. I know martial artists, people, army people, Marines, Air Force, real gangs, firefighters and stuff. Like, those are the tough people. I'm none of that shit. Right. But again, I grew up in a dojo. I can protect myself, and I run fast too. But it's like you, like when you told me being in Japan, you never really felt like physically like threatened by these Japanese people, right?
Right.
Like, I was kind of like that too when I was in Japan. And you see all these skinny small dudes like.
Well, it's also, dude, like there's not. I think part of the reason why there's this awkwardness whenever it comes down to like physical fighting is that it's super peaceful in Japan, and people are not. They're not about like aggressive action.
Right.
They're not really about bumping heads. It's all about getting along with everyone and not making waves. So like when it gets to that point, and it's usually people drunk, so already your coordination's gonna be worse.
There's gonna be that awkward wrestling.
So that's gonna happen. But for the most part, I would say most people in general don't get into fights, no matter where you are, right?
Right.
Japan, even higher. Most people just don't. So when it gets to that, it does get a little awkward.
Yeah, man. These fights, man, it was always super weird. They don't want to fight. I've been in some fights, but this was back in the day. No cameras, no nothing. And I'm not gonna tell these stories. So yeah, that's how I f***ed them up. I'm not gonna tell any of those stories. I'll tell stories I got jumped or the fights I witnessed. Super funny ones.
You know the thing that's funny?
What?
When you see, which is horrible, when you see two people who don't want to fight, but everyone around them is pushing them to fight, dude.
They just make it a club. They just make the whole scene look like Fight Club.
Yeah, dude. They're like, oh, what did you tell you? Yeah. It was horrible.
Yeah, man.
Did you hear what he told you? Oh man, you're gonna let him talk like that?
Come on now. Nah. You're not a pussy, are you?
Just pushing the guys against each other.